Zach, yesterday was the 4th of July. We're all with our families. So it's time for me to go home, and I walk out to my truck, and I have a big screw in my tire.
Wow, you got screwed.
I really got screwed. So I was like, okay, I'll deal with it tomorrow. So I left my truck at my mom's house. And so I went to pick it up. I didn't want to be driving on the screw, just in case things exacerbate and it fucking pops on me while I'm driving and you guys never see me again. Oh, so I went to the Discount Tire today, and I bought my truck 2 years ago, and they came with the tires that were on it, and they were basically no good anymore. So a screw in my tire cost me just shy of $1,500. Actually, it's $1,501 is how much it cost. Oh, could have bought a whole statue.
How does a screw in the tire cost $1,501?
Well, I had to get all new tires. But like I wouldn't have
all four.
Yeah, all four tires.
Oh,
like
okay.
I wouldn't have gone to the tire place if I didn't have that screw, and I wouldn't have, you know what I mean? But it's
And that was
like,
Discount Tire?
Yeah,
Jeez.
bro.
Hate to see Premium Tire.
So he said you need 4 replacement tires?
Yeah, they were like rotting. They you could
It's
see
real
the
hot here,
sidewall.
so the rubber gets like cracked.
I'll tell you something right now. That was the salesman of the year.
Yeah.
They didn't even offer to repair it, or it was like on the.
I knew that they were gonna be needing to be replaced soon anyway, so I was just like, you know what? I don't want to fuck with it. Just give me all 4. So, yeah.
Sounds like you got down on all 4.
That was a
Yeah,
really
pretty much, bro. Yeah.
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the doll collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
Shall we lock in the artillery power?
This is the true form of floor gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Marco.
And I'm Ben.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. We want to thank our friends over at 1/6 Corner for sponsoring this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. Guys, don't forget to use code CW10. That's capital C, capital W, 10 during our live recordings for 10% off all in-stock items. Be sure to go over to 16corner.com and check it out.
They are sweet, sweet angels. Real quick, let's check in on the chat. We got Toy Mafia, Tukatri, Carlito, King Ding, Caffeinated Comic Fan, excuse me. David Jones, Bob Dylan, we all float down here. 123 Thor, 123 Gaming, Evening Gents, may the force be with you. Equan, OG Fan, Nicolio, Bob Dylan, Pablo Meza, Scott Bradley, Baby Boy, Top 3 Reasons Why I Am Here, Ben Thomas, and Ben Thomas.
Wow, I didn't even make the top 3.
I'm actually blushing.
Hey, unrelated, how do you ban someone from the chat?
Unrelated, how do you get a letter that you've mailed someone back?
That's right.
Andy Standifer, guy I worked with, turned in his lease, Audi, and they charged him for 2 new tires due to wear. We got Baby Girl 707, shout out in the chat, Toy Quest 101. Baby Girl says, I'm here for Gigi. You'd love to see it.
At least she's not here for Ben.
I'm here for Ben.
We have a great show planned for you guys tonight. We're talking about some new Hot Toys, some new Iconiq Studio stuff, some Inart stuff, having a discussion of the week that, frankly, 4 of us have no idea what it's about. And we're reviewing a pretty good movie today.
Has to be the worst. I think it's the worst discussion of the week topic. But hey.
Wow. All right. With that attitude, it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm here to have fun. Before we get into that, Dean, let's kick it off with the world's favorite podcast segment.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yes.
It's new this week.
Yeah. What'd you get new this week? I got some stuff coming. Rainer picked it up for me. Some vintage collection clones. I don't have them yet, so. And my $1,500 in tires. So that's all I got going on. What about you guys?
Wow. I think Marco had something, or was it? Yeah, Marco, what'd you get this week?
I did, yeah. So Tuesday snuck up on me this week, but I did get Ahsoka in the mail finally. So got this one to bust open. And I did also get the Justice League Superman. And it's one that I had the BVS Superman for a while, so just right over here. But that coloring looks so good next to Batman. I just had to have the more classic look. So been a pretty good week so far.
Congratulations. I had an interesting week. I went to Target today, and apparently there was some new select Pokemon figures, and Zapdos as a kid was always one of my favorite Pokemon, so like the 8-year-old inside of me was so excited to see this on the shelf. It's funny, I messaged Sean Lockridge, he's a big Pokemon collector as well, and he was like, dude, I'm on the way to the store right now. I even offered to pick it up for him, but he's like, nah, dude, I'm gonna go see what else they have. I also picked up a Hammond collection Parasaurolophus and a T-Rex, which is coming thanks to Patreon Stephen Percha. So that should be here this week. I was supposed to have my Homelander today. It said it was out for delivery, but I think it's like a sure post type thing. So it got delivered to the USPS facility, which is kind of lame that it would tell me it's out for delivery today.
When you see your Homelander, which one?
The Mafex one. I think the So Toys is releasing like this week or next week.
I've seen a lot of buzz out there.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of buzz about that one, and especially with another figure we'll talk about here in a bit.
You said you got the Parasaurolophus?
Parasaurolophus, yes.
Let's get the hashtag going. Get well soon, Zach, because that sounds like a bummer.
It is. It is.
Lethal.
It hurts when you cough. It hurts when you pee. Let's get into the news though. Let's start with the Hot Toys Purgetrooper. This one, not without controversy. $235, not a bad price. Q3 to Q4 2023. I've seen some people say this helmet looks better all black. I don't doubt that. But the fact of the matter is, if it's like that in the show with that little bit of gunmetal / steel showing through, that's what we'd expect Hot Toys to give us. To me, I knew we were going to get like these troopers from the show. But this to me seems like a weird one to kick off the Kenobi line with. Especially it only really got like maybe a minute of screen time. But I guess that's fairly typical for Hot Toys with like the Incinerator Trooper or the Mortar Trooper, the Patrol Trooper. So I just wish that design-wise, which is not Hot Toys' fault at all, but I wish they would have had a different rifle for this. I think that would have been cool because it just seems kind of tacked on to have the Death Trooper specialist rifle on like a all-new clone. What do you think about it, Dean?
Yeah, the hashtag not my Purge Trooper. I hate it. I think it's so stupid looking. The Purge Troopers they had in Fallen Order, way cooler. I don't know where they pulled this design out of from the helmet, but that ain't it. $235, pretty good price. I mean, if you like the troopers and you want to army build this.
Hey, Dean, on the helmet, so I think it looks oversized, but I think Loco Lou was the one that was telling me. He's like, it's based after a samurai. And when you look at it like that, it seems a bit more appealing, but I think I agree. It's kind of a goofy looking helmet.
No, I still hate it.
He doesn't even have a sword. How is the samurai?
Yeah, I mean, Vader's
Come on, Star Wars is all
more samurai
Westerns
than this.
Yeah, but Vader has a sword. That's the thing, right?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, that makes sense on Vader, because that's literally where they got the design from, or the inspiration. This just seems, I don't know, lazy, and it's like, hey, let's take this one design and just make it really angular. I don't know. I hate it. I think it looks really stupid, but $235, pretty good.
Yeah,
that's the only good thing I have to say about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this is an attractive whatsoever. Simple release, nothing intricate, same base, same everything. $235. Yeah, you can troop build, but I'm with Zach on this one. Why did they give this as the first release? We're already done the Obi-Wan show. If they had kicked off the Obi-Wan show and gave us this or something, while we were still watching it, okay. But to be over, the show's over, and we haven't seen any of the main characters being done yet. All right, it's an easy pass for now.
I'm a little bit surprised that I don't actually remember this like character in the show. Like it must have been a really fast moment because even like because even like the Flame Trooper and Mando, like or the Incinerator Trooper, excuse me, like that had like a pretty powerful moment with Grogu and everything, right? Like it was like meant something. This, as I said, I watched that show pretty intently, and I don't remember this guy at all in the show. The price tag is what definitely attracts me to this, just because it is still a unique looking trooper. But I had a Shih Tzu as a kid that made this exact same face every time it wanted food, and so that's kind of what I can say. It looks like Winston to me. But other than that, I actually kind of think it's cool looking. Jokes aside, I can see why you guys don't love it if you're like hardcore Trooper fans, because I think there are other characters just in general that we want to see. But yeah, I don't know if I'll get this unless it hits those bargain bins, I should say.
Wow, trademark
bargain
there,
bin bros.
Trademark.
That's right.
Bro.
There you go.
Bargain bang bros. So
Wow.
There's a lot to like about this figure, like the colorway, just everything about it. But I think the translation to a figure is like the proportions are seeming off. And I think the number one gripe I have are the legs. Like it needed some type, and maybe this is just the design, but it needed some type of contrast there, because the all black just makes the legs look so long, and then that just makes it look extra goofy. So like waist up, it looks a lot better, and then you throw in those legs and I'm like, I don't know. So obviously it's just a reused trooper design there, but overall, this is not one that I would rule out, but I think definitely waiting for the bargain bin on this guy. But who knows? Maybe it'll be popular. I've seen a lot of buzz around it.
Soft goods wise, I think the camo looks really well done. It looks almost like a pleather leather material. And then I enjoy the little splash of color there, the red on the left bicep, and then the pauldron. I don't love the shape of the pauldron. Like I like the color, but usually like the ones we've seen, they're more flat, or they have like defined facets to them. This one's just like, and that's it. It feels a bit unfinished, especially when you have that ridging that leads to the red portion near the neck. But the price definitely isn't bad at $235, and maybe it'll be a bargain bin figure, 10% off, free shipping type of deal. You get it for about $200. So we'll see how that turns out, and I guess we'll find out Q3 2023 about it. Next up, we have Elvis by Iconiq Studios, Elvis Presley rather, $259, releasing Q1 to Q2 2023. I will be honest, there's two versions of this figure. The second one we'll talk about here shortly. This to me is, in my opinion, I think it's much worse than the second one. I think the outfit looks a bit off. It just doesn't look like it fits particularly well. The portrait, the painting doesn't look super great. And I know Jacob, I may be mispronouncing the name here, Jacob Ramir, Rainman, I think is his handle on some of the forums. I believe he painted the prototype. Those photos of the sculpt in hand. And definitely not saying I could paint it any better by any means, but it just seemed like the paint wasn't that good for what I'm used to seeing from him. Combine that with the fact that I think the hands are a bit oversized for the body. This to me just isn't a super great looking figure. I know Iconiq Studios really put a lot of work into both these prototypes, but this one to me, especially coming out alongside the Shrink Ray Jailhouse version, which we'll talk about, I can't see this one selling as well as the other one.
Maybe the other one just looks that good that it kind of makes this one seem kind of pale. The only thing I kind of agree with you on is the outfit. Looks kind of baggy, like it doesn't fit properly. But other than that, I didn't really notice anything too out of the that I would kind of nitpick. But yeah, I mean, it's all like I get it. Like to me, they nailed it. But this is my opinion. What about you guys?
I guess I'll go.
I thought you took a deep breath and got ready for it.
Oh no, I was gonna wait to see if anybody was reading the private chat, but I guess not. This is the I think Inart. Look, I'm not Inart. Iconiq. I'm an advocate of Iconiq. I have been from the beginning, but I really think they dropped the ball with these two releases. I don't think the likeness is there. The open mouth portrait where he's singing, I think that's the best of the two, and the guitar was executed well. But other than that, I'm not a fan of these releases, and I think that from now till release, they need to put some good work into again get the tailoring of that suit, and fix that portrait.
I think it's interesting though that like I feel like Elvis and quite a few musicians would this would be a niche collectible for somebody who just absolutely loves Elvis but doesn't necessarily collect 6-scale figures like we do. In that sense, I think this would be amazing because this would still probably be one of the best representations of this this musician that you could get. Like for me, I'm not a huge Elvis fan, but I once had an English teacher who like she had Elvis all over the classroom. She showed us pictures of her house like it was plastered. And so like I think there's somebody out there, or probably a lot of people, that would just love to have this in their collection, and they've probably been waiting for it. I do think the next one is better, but we'll get there. I do think though that like if you saw this guy on your shelf, the likeness is good enough that you would know 100% who it's supposed to be just in passing. And like maybe it's not a compliment, but it does look better from a bit of a distance. Like seeing it on my screen even smaller like this, it looks better than like the up close photos. So again, that might not be a compliment, but it's true.
This one may be a victim of me not really knowing what Elvis looks like, right? I'm just like so used to, I got all the impersonators in my head. There's a new movie coming out. I'm not even sure what the hell he looks like originally, but I think overall this is like a pretty boring release, but I'm not a big Elvis guy. And I think that hopefully they get the sculpt a bit tightened up for the final release because, as I mentioned previously, I'm rooting for Iconiq. I'm like an early investor. I think that they could really do a lot of cool stuff to disrupt the market. And so hoping that this one ends up gaining some traction, is popular for folks that love Elvis, and actually takes off along with the rest of the line.
One thing that does concern me about both of these releases is the Q1 to Q2 2023 timeframe. I know they just pushed Patrick Bateman back a bit, and they're still haven't released Ryu as well. And I feel like the Q1, Q2 is perhaps a bit ambitious. That's 6 months away at the earliest. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually are able to hit that time frame. There's the Jailhouse version also, and holy Jesus, this thing looks incredible. I absolutely love grayscale statues, grayscale figures. I just think it's like it trips me out.
What are some other good examples of grayscale figures or statues you can think of?
NECA Monster line.
NECA Monster line, the Sideshow Noir Batman Joker line. It's not really a line, but it's two figures of that. You see them sometimes with anime statues, like a cel-shaded type of look. Yeah, so there are quite a few, but this to me is just so incredible. And off the rip, I was like, damn, the pants and the jacket, like the white stitching is kind of odd. Check the tape, definitely there. They absolutely nailed this. This portrait is I mean, it's like you're looking at a photograph. Like it's insane how...
Damn, I just remembered what Elvis looks like.
There you go. It's insane how good this looks. I love that you get the two different feet there for the dancing pose, and just the expressiveness of the hands. For what it's worth, the first version that we showed did also have a really nice set of hand sculpts. But yeah, this is incredible, and I'm not an Elvis fan enough to like drop the $249 on this one, so it's actually $10 cheaper. I wouldn't drop that much on an Elvis figure, but God, if you're an Elvis fan, I mean, this shit is bussin'. This shrink ray, like this is so good, and it really shows me like how good of a potential Inart has to like nail these kind of figures. And to me, you know, I know you were saying, Marcus, like maybe you just don't know what Elvis looks like or whatever, but it's like this is kind of what I was expecting, the quality, and I feel like these two being released on the same day, like you can't not compare them, and this to me is just so much better.
Yeah, this one kind steals the show. Especially that smiling sculpt, because that's not easy to do. Like, I mean, how many expressive sculpts have we seen that we've shredded to pieces? So yeah, I think this is a fucking home run. I guess this is based off the music video, Zach.
Yes.
Okay, so he like doesn't use any instruments, because the other one came with a guitar, and if it's only a $10 difference, like, not much in the way of accessories, but I mean, $250, 2 head sculpts, bunch of expressive hands, a display base. I think it's great.
They can't get over how good that smile is. Like, looking at the photographs of him smiling, like, they got that smile like dead to rights. Like, it's almost like a little crooked. Like, that's really impressive.
Yeah, I don't have too much to say about this one, but I will just echo your point, Zach, about them releasing both on the same day is kind of detracting from that other release, because this one looks so stellar and just unique, and there's so much to like about it that it makes the other one look so boring.
I think Nicolio also, or Niculio, called it out. We called it Inart, but it was Iconiq. So just in case there was any confusion there, this is not an Inart release.
Who was the dummy that said that? Did I?
Did I say that?
Yeah, I think it was Zach. I think earlier by accident. So.
What the hell? Who's that idiot that let him on the stream?
All good. I thought I didn't do my homework for a half second. I'm like, this is Inart. So
did I say it both times?
Catch.
I'm pretty sure I said it just maybe the second.
I think
yeah,
good
catch.
Good
they give you both pairs of shoes, so that's how you know it's not Inart.
Jesus Christ.
Well, that's actually the compliment I was going to give it, is that I think other than Deadpool having the high heels, I don't have any other figure that's come with like 2 sets of feet. Kind of cool. And I like that it's a dynamic pose that's not going to tip over on itself if the mechanism gets weak, right? So like you can actually hold it in that dynamic pose. It's cool. I like it.
Sideshow was real popular with that. With the clone troopers, they would give you the I don't think I've seen them use that often, but if you wanted to do a more expressive, like running pose or like a kneeling pose, you had a second set of feet that was like pre-bent.
Cool.
Yeah,
just
another display option. Yeah. What do you think about this, John?
I think you guys are being way too generous.
What?
At $249, I do agree this is the better of the two, and the portraits are a bit better. But I agree with what Fern is saying. The body, he's looking a little way too skinny there. I don't know. I feel like these. I feel like they cheaped out on the bodies they used for this Elvis. When you compare it to like the Ryu, where they put money towards the body, innovating a new body. I feel these look, for me, they look lanky and cheap. That's just my 2 cents. But again, this is out of the two, this is the one to go for from the photos we're seeing so far.
I will say I'll agree with you on the other Elvis. Like I said, that bodysuit didn't seem to fit, and Elvis got kind of he was a huskier guy when he got older. But I don't really know.
He's pretty thin.
Like, yeah, he was a pretty thin dude. Like, I don't know what other kind of body they could have used for this one.
Yeah, but look at the portrait.
Right?
The portrait's fantastic. What are you talking about? This portrait is fantastic.
And the other thing is, how are they going to get? How are they going to get the toes up there? You're going to have a stand. You're going to have a stand.
What do you mean? They're probably magnetic.
Yeah. No, magnetic, buddy.
There's probably a stand right here.
You think it's going to be held magnetic?
If there's not a crotch grabber, that's a weird thing.
But
I imagine that there is.
These
like type of bases usually have like a port in the back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who was the one doing magnetic bases? That wasn't Iconiq.
Inart.
Was it Inart? No, this is the ones that did the John Wayne and the...
That was Molecule 8, but Inart also has magnetic bases.
Molecule 8 didn't do John Wayne.
The recent John Wayne.
Oh, Molecule 8 did John Lennon. I'm sorry.
Yeah, John Lennon.
Who also had magnetic feet.
You
fucking idiot. I fucking hate. Get this guy out of here.
What?
Get him out of here.
The one. How dare you?
Hate you, bro.
Wow.
Depending on your display too, you might be able to get away with those clear acrylic rods, for example, to like hold them up at the back, so you could kind of do this position without an actual stand. Might be cool.
What's that?
Similar to what they've done with Spider-Man.
What's that hand motion he's doing over there on the left? It's like when you really like the girl.
Gabagool.
Yeah, dude.
One thing I think is just a nature of the 1/6 scale figure. I don't think there's really a way around it, but where the ankle meets the foot, it kind of like squares off at the end, because there's a ball joint, a double ball peg, It does look a bit like he's dislocating his tib fib right there. So
something looks off. I don't know what it is. It's the legs. It's something. Something's not hitting the eye right. In my opinion. But
yeah, I don't know. I just can't get over how good this portrait looks. To me, like this portrait
looks like a Ken doll. It reminds me of a Ken doll.
That's who the Ken doll was based off of.
What?
I'm just kidding.
It's like you can't be telling people this stuff. People are gonna believe you one day.
I know. Now you know how I feel. You're over here telling us things are made of
gullible.
styrofoam, and I'm like, John, it's not styrofoam.
Things are made of styrofoam, and damn, you got a memory like Jesus.
He has a great memory. He never forgets. Inart brought up their Pennywise. Now these are the
real releases here
these are the China prices. $370 gets you either standard version, which is either the classic face or I guess what I'm dubbing the werewolf face. Or $450 for the deluxe, which includes both heads, and you also get a few other display things. It's interesting. There's a lot to say about this figure. One, I don't really understand why they're making this figure. I know they went out and said they want to make icons of cinema. Nothing against Bill Skarsgård or the It franchise, but I don't think this really classifies as an icon of film in the modern era. It does look good though, right? I think they have the ability to see what Hot Toys did right, what Hot Toys did wrong, areas where they can improve on that. I think certainly the outfit should not come out of the Inart box looking freshly laundered. I think that was the biggest complaint with the Hot Toys one. But being that you're able to compare both of them, I think the accessories are lacking on this figure, which unfortunately I feel like is kind of a thing with Inart. I don't really know that much about the character, so to me it looks and it feels right. But I'm sure there's people that are much more into this character, like I am with Gandalf, that would say like, oh, this could be better, this could not be better. One of those people was Will Foxification. He was asking two things about this figure right off the bat. One, to give the werewolf face and the deluxe a second werewolf hand. In the movie he only transforms one of the hands, but he was saying it would be better for display to have both, and it probably wouldn't add much to the cost. And a lot of collectors that I've seen on the Facebook groups are saying that the string for the balloon accessory is much too small, and if you look at it, it actually is quite small. John and I had this discussion with the Patreons about the color of the boat. I think it's a little bit too yellow. Hot Toys had theirs yellow as well, and John and I were both able to find some different licensed replicas of the boats. So I don't know. On Etsy it's about 60-40 tan to yellow. It's probably not a big deal. I'm not going to start the hashtag change the boat. You know, I think we're not going to do that here, but it's just interesting that it is. To me, it just struck me out as too yellow. And I've seen the first film. I haven't seen the second, but I don't remember the werewolf, like this look here on the left, being that big of a part of the film where you'd like, to me, it's either you get the classic version or you get the deluxe. Like I can't see many people just getting the werewolf version. And that's really what I have to say. I think the rooting's fine. I think, the price point, for a rooted Inart starting at $370 is not terrible. Honestly, not terrible at all for the quality of the rooting. But I'm curious what you guys have to say about it, and if anyone here is going to pick one up.
I think Inart could have played this really well if they went with the Tim Curry it rendition of the character.
100%.
This was kind of like, this was direct competition Inart went for. Cutthroat direct competition. And I think they demolished them. I'll be frank. I agree. I don't know the character too well, but I looked at some of the photos in comparison. I think Hot Toys, the accessories, like I wanted Georgie's arm. I think that should have been a must.
It's an obvious
That should have been a must.
100%.
And I like what Hot Toys did with the base, the way you can put him, he's underneath and you can see the sewer. Like that's iconic. When you think of it, that's such an iconic scene. But this figure, the tailoring and the portrait, absolutely steamrolls Hot Toys in my opinion. The portrait. The accessories are there, but the portrait with the rooted hair, if it looks like this out of box, absolutely steamrolls. This one I'm not picking up. I appreciate the base as well, the way they kind of did the stage. It looks good. Look, if Will put his up for sale right away, they have to be doing something right.
Well, he has 2.
Yeah, his 2 is one of his 2.
Yeah, but still, he was that Hot Toys to Will was a beloved figure.
John, you know what? I think. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Dave.
No, you got.
I was just going to say, like, I agree with everything that John's saying. I think just this one's a victim of timing because I think at the end of the day, when we see this next to the Hot Toys, it's going to look night and day better and it's going to justify the price. And I love their marketing. Like, they released all these high-res images and we're getting a really good look. But I think if we already had the Joker or other figures from them in hand, we would, like, know the quality and we'd be like, you know what, this one, for sure, like, no problem. It's going to be that much better than Hot Toys. If they already had that track record built up, which I'm still confident they will, I think it would be a no-brainer. But to, have this as the third one when you haven't released a figure, it's just tough for us to really know now that it's like head and shoulders above Hot Toys. I think it's going to be at the end of the day, like I'm saying, but it's just it's a bit of a calculated gamble still without really knowing the quality they're going to deliver.
I'm actually I'm in the same boat. Sorry, go ahead though, Dean. I didn't realize you were going to go by.
Oh, it's okay. I feel like we had this conversation not that long ago, but is it that much better that you should spend another 3 something on it than the Hot Toys? I don't think so. Like, the tailoring isn't like that much better that I can notice it, just on the naked eye. The rooting of the hair is unquestionably better, but would I spend another fucking stack of money on it if I already have the Hot Toys or could get the Hot Toys cheaper? Probably not. I feel like if you have the Hot Toys, you're unless you're like a fucking hardcore fan that gets every version of the character like I am with some of mine, like sure, absolutely go for it. But if it's just like you need that representation on your shelf, like I don't think you need to sell your Hot Toys and go out and get this. It just doesn't seem like it's that much better. That's just all I was gonna say.
It's just hard when the only medium is pictures for us to identify, right? We haven't seen any videos. We don't
know
no one has it in hand. So sorry, Ben.
No, I was gonna say you guys all make really good points, and like Marco, your point just about the kind of the gamble at this point. Like I'm now into it for the Hot Toys 2-pack Joker. I've now got Gandalf on the way. That's already now 2 of the 3 figures.
You're gambling big time.
Yeah, like to me, I'm gambling because that's still like a lot of money on the line. That's what that's $1,500. That's almost $2,000 Canadian
just for the Jokers.
Line. Yeah. Right. And before I've actually physically had them in hand. I know you're taking the piss, but like I think for me, I wouldn't justify buying this until I've now at this point seen one in physical form, like a retail, like we got it from them. This is how good the quality is, because when I saw the Hot Toys one, it actually blew me away. I thought the Hot Toys one was amazing, and I think anybody that pulled the trigger on that figure, I think kind of like you guys are saying, if you can, or like Dean said, if you can save $300 and put that towards something else for your collection, like I don't think it's that much better, at least from the photos, that should justify it, unless you need to have the best version out there. But even then, you can't assuredly say that this is the best version until you physically have it in hand.
The justification for this figure would be if you're an It fan. If you look at the character It, like some people look at the character Joker, then there's the justification to pick it up, because it's just that's your character, and you're gonna have a time slot to order, right? Because if the time slot misses, because like imagine if people told us, well, you should wait to see the Joker, and you shouldn't order, but then that time window, which it did, whatever the drama with that, but that time window closed, and then we missed our opportunity. So I think if you're an It fan and you want to roll the dice, then you should take the gamble. I think you're I don't know.
Depends how strong the FOMO is with you.
I'm really behind this one. I don't think I'm not behind this release particularly, but I'm really behind Inart with what they've been doing. And I said my ground. I said if they did that Moria staff, that I would be 100% feed in. So
tough question though for you, John, because like you're happy about this one, fair enough. But I know you also just said you don't really necessarily collect Pennywises. Yeah. If Inart starts remaking all of the Hot Toys, that are out there, all the ones that you have in your collection that you've
Oh,
cherished and kept in boxes and all of that for so many years.
Yeah.
Will you still feel as supportive? Because that
Of
will
Inart?
diminish your of Inart, because that will still ultimately diminish the value of your Hot Toys if they start coming out with reissues of the same figures. But
well, it's not a reissue because it's a completely different company. But I'd start considering cleaning up house of the Hot Toys figures. I've already considered selling both my Jokers. I haven't yet, but I've already considered.
I agree that it's not a straight reissue, but I think that like people would see it that way in terms of value and
not necessarily because
DX11.
Not necessarily because you get people like look at the conversation here from the panel. The majority of the people said go buy the Hot Toys one. Don't go with the Inart. So you're always going to have that Hot Toys community that will support the figures.
No, that's true. That's good.
To that point, like I know with the DX11 Joker, that one's seen a pretty sharp decrease in value. I know Fern, you know, that was $1,000 figure last year. Now it's, you know, you're lucky to get $400. I would say now's not the time if you have a Pennywise Hot Toys to sell it. It's kind of like the worst time to do it. I think you have to find that sweet spot between when this is announced and before it is released. Similar to the Beskar Mando, right? Right when it was announced, it hit down pretty hard, and it's creeping back up now that, you know, these delays are happening and people do want that Beskar Mando in their collection, even just for a bit. But I think having both, I think you'd have the best of both worlds. You have all the accessories from the Hot Toys and the Inart one. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. I know a lot of places that we usually order from don't have it up for pre-order yet. I think if you do like 1/6 kit, have we seen anything about a cutoff date? I don't think I have on this one.
Let me double check.
Not yet.
Well, John's double checking that. We'll catch up on the comments here. Scott Bradley, the Hot Toys version is fantastic, has way more accessories. Vintage Rebellion looks amazing. That movie is just not good enough for me to need this. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling right there. Christian Lopez, the Steamrolls Hot Toys Equan Pennywise is still in stock for half the price. It's weird timing.
Who said the Steamroll comment?
Christian Lopez, I believe.
What I do agree with is Batman should have been shown before this.
100%, but we know from last week the reason it wasn't was because they're finalizing the accessories. So they pushed up Pennywise to finalize that. So we'll see what happens with that. John, do we have a word on the?
It's loading up here.
Cutoff? Okay.
Here we go.
I do.
July
think,
22nd.
July 22nd. Go ahead, Ben.
I was going to say that I think even though we keep calling Inart right now a bit of a gamble, like they still have the Queen Studios name to withhold, and I do think that it is a gamble until we truly see one in hand. But I think ultimately, I don't think we're going to get another Molecule 8 situation where like we're all devastated by the quality. I think it will still be just as good, if not even better in hand, and I think it'll make us feel amazing about spending our money on them. Ultimately,
I sure hope so.
Because everybody will stop trusting Queen Studios entirely if Inart fails, right? So
no, I mean, the statue world won't be affected by this.
Let me add.
So? No, not at all.
Add this. Looking at the full what's included here, one, I have to say I'm extremely disappointed by the hands situation. There's really not that many to speak of, and I don't really like, to be completely honest, that a lot of the accessories are like paper based. Like you get like maps and photos of Derry, you get the ticket there, and it looks like what could be a cardboard backdrop that's flippable. Those to me are always like the bottom barrel Hot Toys type accessories. Whenever I see them with Hot Toys, they never get used. They're very thin, cheap paper. When you look at something like this, like, it's been so long that I've seen the movie, but you got to think that there's some other things that the Hot Toys one included. I think Johnny mentioned Georgie's arm. I think that's a no-brainer that wasn't included. I feel like there's just got to be other things that you could include with this.
Even like a refrigerator that he pops out of or something like that.
I think he had like that little, I don't know what they're called, but the little box where the clown pops out. I think Hot Toys had that, and I do recall that being in the film as well. So
once you're done, sorry. Oh,
you're good.
I was going to say, you know what the problem with Inart is, I find? They're going for the very museum-esque figure. very statue-like. Yeah, there's points of articulation, but I think display-wise, they're going for that very museum look, and they need to get their shit together with the accessories. They have to. This is the third release already, and we're still complaining about accessories. No.
Yeah, well, you think about the Batman too. Hot Toys threw in everything in that release, so they're going to have a lot of competition. Well, almost everything. There you go.
No. Yeah. We'll wait. We're not going to make. I'm not going to make assumptions as to how it's going to look beforehand. But I think Hot Toys
come out swinging.
I think Hot Toys. They showed their hand too quickly, I think.
Yeah, to that point, Inart is able to see what Mezco did accessory-wise and what Hot Toys is doing. The best 1/12 and quote-unquote the best 1/6 scale company, they're able to see both of those. And if they don't capitalize on knowing what is already included with those other ones, and if they miss out and miss something stupid like the adrenaline syringe or something that the other companies included, it's a massive failure in my opinion.
Two things with Hot Toys is they should have waited to show the upgrade once Queen put the reveal forward. Or that could have worked for them if people pre-order. But if people were waiting, they knowing that Inart's coming out with the Batman, I would assume people are waiting to see what it looks like before pre-ordering the Hot Toys. But where Hot Toys may lead is the bat signal, as well as the bike. That's what might put them ahead.
Yeah, 100%. And if they actually do the full Batmobile, which they've teased.
Yeah, we're all waiting.
Queen has teased it as well, but
yeah.
At this point, I think the only one that's actually up for order is the Jazzing Dioramas one. Moving on, So Toys put up a Starlight. This one's 188, releasing Q1 2023. A lot to unpack here. It looks like they're using a seamless body because the knees there obviously don't have any joints on them. Whether or not that's going to hold up, I would honestly doubt. The portrait to me looks a bit off, and just some parts of the costume just look a bit weird, like that white tulle on the skirt there. I'm not sure if that's super accurate, but it just looks really cheap, to be honest. And when you look at the figure, to me, I like the way NECA did it, where they gave you a portrait that you could really see that she's using the powers. The eyes are like a bright white yellow. And here, honestly, looking at these portraits here, I don't know if it's just the eye painting or if they're trying to go for that powered eye look, but it doesn't look like it at all to me. It just looks like just one portrait with just regular brown eyes. So I'm not sure how I feel about the portrait and the lack of accessories, but, we're getting a Starlight. So that's Butcher, Homelander, and Starlight by So Toys, which is a pretty good trio of figures so far.
Yeah, I don't hate this. The picture of her face straight on, I could definitely see the resemblance. I think maybe the actress is probably a little more, I don't want to say gaunt because that would make her sound kind of sick, but a lot thinner.
She lost a lot of weight this season too.
Yeah, her cheek and her like jawbone seem a little too square on this sculpt. But I don't hate this. I think it's pretty cool, and she's one of my favorite characters on the whole show. So, I don't know if I'd get this because I don't have any of the ones yet, but maybe that'll change.
Yeah, The Boys is my jam, as Zach and I talk about often. I love, first of all, the name Homelight is perfect. Hashtag Homelight is spot on. I think this looks awesome, but I hold So to a different standard than like Hot Toys. I think Mark said if this was Hot Toys, he'd be upset by it. But for a third party, I think this looks pretty dang good. And I do plan on getting that Homelander. So this feels like a perfect companion piece. I like the outfit, and the sculpt needs some work. But overall, like I'm pretty stoked on this release and don't have too many negatives to say about it.
Sam says, didn't the Homelander look like John Candy had AIDS? I think their Homelander is actually the best one of all the mass released ones. I think the worst one by far is the licensed one. For Starlight, this is what I'm talking about. Like her eyes for the NECA one, you have like that powered effect, and they actually look like she's using her powers from the show. And this one, I honestly can't tell. They mentioned like it has the eye effect look, but it just looks like brown eyes to me. So
you think it could be one of those Hot Toys, like if you put
maybe
a
like
UV
the UV
light over it?
Yeah, but that is
SJC
the eyes will be
360.
yeah.
So said the eyes will be UV.
I don't like that.
But then you need a fucking UV light in your cabinet.
Yeah.
That's kind of annoying.
You don't want to put a UV
You know how much
light in your
shit's
room.
you know how much shit's gonna be glowing, especially on this character. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of glow going on there.
Exactly.
Whoa! Are you talking about? Well,
because it's so white. The outfit's so.
Oh
white.
yeah, I get it.
So I have the So Toys Flash. So the base on this figure is a reuse of that base, same hexagonal style, kind of same design, just a different symbol on the inside there, painted a little different. I don't love the face sculpts on these, to be honest. I like everything kind of from the neck down to about the knees, because one thing that I did not like about my Flash figure from So was that the boot was sculpted. And so for a figure that you want to make look like he's in a running pose, sometimes can't do it. It just doesn't look natural. And it looks like she may be struggling with something similar here. It's hard to tell if it's hard sculpted like the Flash is or not, or if it'll articulate and there's risk of cracking. But like, to me, it looks like it's pretty hard sculpted. So she may not be as dynamic of a figure as what I would expect or envision the Flash to be, but she's still like a fighting character a lot of the time. So that might look a little unnatural. So ultimately, though, again, I think from the neck kind of to the knees, I think it looks pretty good. I didn't even think about the body ripping, Zach, so that's a really good call. That worried me a little bit as well, just because of the price point especially.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into the boys yet, so
she's
Clip that.
187. With you're gonna see those knees through that seamless leg in a matter of days. I don't know, that's crazy. But the suit looks good, the dress looks good. Other than that, I have no interest in this whatsoever.
I thought you were going to tell us like the IMDb rating or something.
Wow.
No.
At minimum, because she really doesn't interact with too many things in the costume in the show, especially this costume, because season 2 she's in a different outfit. But at minimum, like, throw in the phone, right? Like, don't. 1/6 companies do this thing lately where they're showing you shit that just is a part of the figure in the accessories boxes. Like, bro, the head, the purse on the side of her belt, like, those aren't accessories. That's just a part of the figure, bro. Like, unless you're swapping those out and these are different pieces, don't show me that as in the accessories window.
Do you trust
like hands? Are you kidding me?
Do you trust So to execute the seamless legs appropriately?
As far as if you were to do like a tier list of third-party companies, I think So Toys is like an S tier. So I think the seamless legs are going to have the same problem if Hot Toys did them, if Inart did them, if even Iconiq. I know Andrew said he tested the body, but I have huge concerns about the longevity of the seamless product by any company. Bison, even Bandai, one of the best materials companies in the world. Their Dragon Ball seamless figures. Luis from the Patreon chat had his for an hour and it already ripped. So
yeah, you can.
You it's just a fact of the material, right? To get it to look so good when it's not.
I'd much rather have this than the joints, though, right? Like, I just got the Harley, and the joints on the knees is just off-putting. So I'd give me this all day.
I'd prefer the joints, to be honest. I don't think they were that bad personally at the angle that I'm going to be displaying it, and you get the ability to pose it without worrying. So for me, it's something I'm going to have to look into to potentially swap the body out for something that has a little bit more longevity in it.
Yeah, I know Zach. The way he's going to display it, which, his figures are usually really well done. You wouldn't notice those joints with her legs behind her head.
Wow.
You're going to say with the double D's that he's an import from the Bison body.
Wow. Suntan big bust, baby. Anyways, Ghost of Sparta 1/6 scale by Shark Toys, aka SW Toys, or in association with SW Toys. This is God of War Kratos 187, released in Q4 2022. I like the muscle body. I like the portrait. Kind of looks like Guy from Sideshow Unboxing. But other than that, I don't know. I feel like with these big muscle bodies, you don't get those butterfly joints, and I feel like it's going to be kind of awkward for them for him to hold things in two hands. Mm-hmm. But I am glad that they didn't go with the seamless there.
Yeah,
you got even though they are a little bit unsightly, I think for longevity's sake and for a character that's so dynamic and so often posed doing cool shit, like, you want to not have to worry about that.
Devil's Advocate, though, there's already a version that exists. I think it's a sideshow version of this Kratos. So I feel like, what was that?
Was it Mondo or Sideshow?
Oh, I think you're right, Ben. There you go. So, but it has these joints like this. So if you gave us a seamless option, because that's kind of what prevented me from getting that one, because I don't like those joints. If you gave me a seamless option with this, it would have been a lot more appealing. As it is, it looks a little too close to what's already in the market.
Yeah, he's also just not nearly bulky enough. I mean, Kratos could barely fucking turn around and wipe his own ass. You know what I mean? Like, Kratos is fucking jacked. Like, traps up to his fucking ears. You know what I mean? So I don't know. This one, it just looks too small. Maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong? Ben, we were arguing about Kratos the other day.
I think it's the arms for sure.
That's why I'm laughing subtly. Who do you think would win in a fight, Kratos or Master Chief? That was the debate. I like this figure. I like this figure more, by the way. I think it looks better than the Mondo figure. There is a one head sculpt with the Mondo that has him opening his mouth, but he looks like he's got no teeth. Okay. And it's a little off-putting.
What else about this one is better than the Mondo, in your opinion?
I like the age that they're going with on this one. This looks like it's somewhere between kind of God of War 3 and the newest God of War. Like where he's kind of older and a little bit like beefier and like a little older, like looking with the beard and stuff. This looks like it's kind of somewhere in between. So he still looks young enough to be badass, but like he's getting to be more seasoned and more matured and stuff. So I think it looks cool. I like the look of him. I don't like arm seams. So like I almost wish they could have done like a muscular body, like a Fison style. Because even though I agree, I don't think he would have that same wielding of his axe ability. I just like the looks of those bodies for like really muscular figures. So for me, that is actually a bit of a takeaway. But everything else, I really love. So, and Dean, I apologize. I'm not sure if I cut you off earlier, buddy. So I love you. Buddy.
No, I'm just saying he looks too small.
Question on Shark Toys: have they done anything else that of note, or is this maybe a subsidiary of another?
I'm sure it's a branch. I didn't recognize it, honestly.
The SW Toys, they've done quite a few figures. I think their best one was the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I think they did a great job on that one. So I don't really know. I assume this is from the most recent video games. But I mean, I think the accessories look good.
It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs more accessories. Some effects, like David said, Blades of Chaos, even if they kind of incorporated the previous games.
Yeah, what's the head that he carries on his belt? That character's hilarious. I forget his name. Who is that, Ben?
I don't know. I don't remember now. I know who you're talking about, though. He was funny.
Google it.
Yeah, he carries him like the entire game. So
yeah.
Yeah, there could be more, but I also don't hate what it comes with.
Anyone gonna pick this one up?
Negative.
No, I hate Kratos.
I haven't ruled it out, but I gotta see more.
Chief.
How dare you? Hot Toys released the Scout Trooper and Speeder Bike. Remind me, this one, you could only get this version of like the Return of the Jedi Scout Trooper with this bike, right? They didn't release them separately? Or did they?
We're going to have to check that.
Go to Google. I think it looks good. I think I appreciate that they gave us the Battlefront rifle, even though we never saw that in Return of the Jedi. I do enjoy when Hot Toys kind of throws us a bone like that. And I mean, what can you say about it? It's a classic brown speeder bike, goes with all kinds of different characters, and you know, I don't hate it.
You can get a single pack of this one, $230.
Right. Thank you, sir. Looks like $455 with the bike and the trooper. And yeah, I mean, I liked it when Danny unboxed the white bike version. I think it looked fine. So excited for everyone to get these and add them to their collection. What do you think about it, Dean?
Yeah, I really want this, but I also don't want to go down the rabbit hole of buying a bunch of more Star Wars figures, because I've really tried to hone my Star Wars collection to a few movies, and unfortunately this guy is not in the movies that I collect from. So I love it. I would like to own it one day, but I'm also not gonna do backflips to get it. So solid release though. It looks fantastic. I literally have no real complaints about it whatsoever.
This one is very tempting. I'd like to pick it up to go with the whole line. I'd like to get the one from Mando as well, but this always has a warm spot in my heart. The only problem if I to pick up this is to go back and catch up on the other ones I missed, like Endor Leia, Luke, the Leia and Wicket, so you can do the scenes. The only thing, if you do pick this up, if you didn't watch our review, our live unboxing of Danny doing the one from the Mando, just be careful because it is very, very fragile. It's all plastic. There's no die cast or anything.
Yeah, I think Danny broke his immediately.
So even when you're posing the trooper on top, be very careful because it is all plastic and very fragile.
But is it any different other than really the paint job from the previous release?
Different proportions.
Different proportions of the figure itself,
of
or
the helmet, the gear,
okay.
the armor.
Bit different.
Yeah.
Okay. To me, in my mind's eye, I feel like they almost look like the same release, so I didn't feel too excited about like this one specifically when it came out. But I do agree. I feel like if you collect within that line, then this is definitely a must-have. It was such an iconic scene, right? And I think in your display it would look crazy good. But you have to also have some, display space for it, right? It's not small, so for me, I don't think I'll justify bringing it in, but I can definitely see the appeal. It looks really cool.
$455.
That's pricey, man.
For the figure, though, you can see the proportions just look a little bit different with the stomach area.
And the waistline now.
Yeah, it's just
the yellowing,
the weathering
That's
also.
true.
Yeah.
And then the helmet too. I guess the helmet on the side, it's like a bit more open on the
yeah. I do recall that. Yeah.
That gives me honestly a greater respect for this release, because when I did first see the pictures, I was like, it looks like the same as what we already had, just with a different paint job. The fact that that's not the case makes me respect the release a lot.
Over the border, we're paying over $1,000 for both of those sets.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't want to see the shipping on that.
More.
I was gonna ask, what's the price on it?
$455.
Well, that was the white one. Is it the same price? Because the clone ones are how much? Stupid money.
$6 something, yeah.
Yeah.
610, 515.
Disgusting.
This one is 505, so $10 more for the clone one.
Yeah, I desperately want this one. This is one of my favorite trooper designs, and to get it with the bike would be ideal, but it's just so expensive. It really is, and it's like significantly more than the Mando version. I know Zach just had it up, but they've jacked the price up a bit more from that previous release. So it almost makes me want to wait for someone that's offloading the Mando version of that trooper to pick that up. But I think this is a superior one. I might just go, I hate to say it, but I might just go with a single pack if it drops close to 200 because it's a beautiful figure, beautiful design, and a great movie. So
you should be able to get it with a discount code afterwards. Like look at Luke, the one that just released, the Snowspeeder Luke. Mm-hmm. Everyone and their mother's picking that up. Everyone loves that figure. It's still there. Right, so you'll be able to pick. I think you'll be able to pick it up with a discount code.
Yeah, I think
right
Zach.
Now, you're right.
Zach just had a sideshow. It said $455, and I think it said $5 shipping. So that's a bit of a discount.
That was for the white.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like eventually there'll be discounts
to $10 or whatnot.
John, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor, if you don't.
Of course. We want to thank 1/6 Corner. Their mission is to provide the best figures and collectibles to their customers. They offer great prices, great packaging, fast shipping, and best in the business customer service. Collecting Weekly listeners get 10% off in-stock figures while our show is live using code capital C, capital W10. Choose your figures, pay safely with PayPal, and you leave the rest to them.
Bunch of angels over there at 1/6 Corner. We have a very special giveaway that we're doing to celebrate 2,000 subscribers. So it is for a Hot Toys Shore Trooper, and it's sponsored by our friends over at Off the Rack Collectibles. To enter the giveaway, all you have to do for your entry is subscribe to Collecting Weekly and Collectors Enabled. That's another YouTube channel that is run by Off the Rack Collectibles. I'll put the link for you guys there in the comments. And then join our Collecting Weekly Auxiliary Facebook group, link also in the comments, and comment hashtag CW2K on the giveaway post, and that'll get you one entry. There's also chances for 3 more entries for a total of 4. Some of them are subscribing to some Instagram pages that we run, like Clips, John's page, and the official CW page. We also have subscribing to John's YouTube channel, Ben's YouTube channel, and Marco's YouTube channel for another giveaway. And then if you're a Patreon member before July 2nd, you'll get your 4th entry. And yeah, it's completely free if you're in the United States. If you're international, additional shipping will be charged at cost. So big shout out to Off the Racks Collectibles for sponsoring this. And good luck, everybody. Hopefully one of you guys watching now will go home with the prize.
So exciting.
Let's talk about Grinds My Gears. John and I had an issue with the same figure, 2 different circumstances. But a few days ago, I was going through my Amazon orders. I was looking for something I needed to return. And I had seen at the top that the George Lucas Black Series Stormtrooper Disguise figure was projected to arrive in August. And I was thinking that's kind of odd because Steven's Collectibles just got theirs. I've seen a few people post theirs. Not a big deal. I wasn't particularly interested in that figure anyways. And I was thinking I'll just cancel it, at some point. Like, I was in a rush. A few days later, I get a text from my bank. Whenever I do like a purchase over $50, it sends me a text like, hey, this was withdrawn, this was whatever. And I wasn't getting great signals. So for like an hour, I'm freaking out in my head, like, I can't leave, I can't check my phone, but did my card get hacked? Like, do I need to call someone? Like, what the fuck is going on? Sure enough, with no warning, Amazon charged my card. I guess the figure bumped all the way from August to this week. And it was kind of a pain in the butt to cancel it because it was already out for delivery. Like, I'd got no text that the order was fulfilled, no text that it shipped, they just were driving to my door with this fucking package. Fortunately, I was able to cancel it and get my money back. But John, I'm curious, you had a similar experience with a different company. How did yours turn out?
Not good. I ordered directly from Hasbro because I'm over here in Canada, so that was the only way I can get it. $26.99 US for the figure, $21 shipping. Imagine that. I'm paying $50 US for this shit. And we pre-ordered it last year, and then it got delayed, whatever. Yesterday, 12:01 a.m., I get an email saying we charged your card. I saw the email this morning. I call Hasbro, you know what they tell me? We can't cancel the transaction now. It's too late. Like, it's too late. It was 12:01 a.m. What are you talking about? It's too late. So I went back and forth with them. They tried to message a supervisor. I called my bank. They can't cancel the transaction either. I'm like, what the fuzz? It's 2022. How can you not cancel a bloody transaction? So now I'm in limbo, waiting to hear back from them. They want me to receive the figure and then ship it back at my cost. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Do they know who you are? So at the end of the day, you have to basically accept delivery of it?
I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to call them tomorrow again and see what happened. The guy said he was going to follow up. And, of course, customer service in this country with these companies nowadays is an absolute joke.
And see, the stress goes on you if you're being honest. If a dishonest person was like, oh, it just didn't show up, then
of course
there'd be no harm, no foul. But you're trying to do the right thing, and that's causing you stress.
You know what they say? Nice guys finish last. It's 100% true.
It's true.
Why didn't you want it anymore? Like, why were you even sending them back?
Because $65 Canadian, man. For a TVC figure? A flip? No.
It was a Black Series figure.
Black Series TVC, it's all the same crapola.
Yeah.
It's by the time it gets here. And I know that I know we originally pre-ordered it last year because we're all like, and they sold out, I think they sold out fairly quickly. But, yeah, no, $65? And I put that towards a figure or something.
Next week, maybe you can let us know if there's an update on that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll do that.
Maybe after dark tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or you'll have a new this week and decide to keep it.
Jesus Christ.
Maybe.
Paint the hair black. You have one of me in your collection. Episode 223, Taking Inventory. Marco had this great idea for us to discuss this.
The idea that everyone
I thought
hates.
everyone was on board in the network chat, or in the CW chat, and I get here today,
I
and everyone's
don't know
show
what
sheet.
this is. Yeah.
Show sheet, we said. What's this topic? Hello?
Oh, man.
Well, no one else gave a better suggestion. Ben's was, if you had all the money in the world, what would you collect?
Hey,
I'm like, bro.
Hey, what
I'm not,
three
That's
lines
pretty good.
of anything
What
would you
I
collect? That could
already
be cars,
collect.
that could be guns, that could be
Dean,
hot
come on.
toys. No,
Hello.
Wait a
only
minute.
three.
How do you
Only
take it?
three.
How do you take inventory of your collection? What is this, Walmart?
Yeah. Let me give an anecdote. But number one, if I had all the money in the world and I was Dean, life-size Tifa, That's the number one.
Bro,
With
I could have bought her
optional
today
attachments.
instead of fucking tires.
Should have done it. I know.
Damn,
Come on, where are
can
your
I borrow the
priorities?
Tifa when it comes in? Just for like a day?
Oh, gosh.
Can I borrow it for 3.5 minutes?
A minute an inch? Nice, dude.
This may be
Oh,
the
that's 30 seconds an inch.
Oh.
Wait, what? No, 2 minutes.
Wow. Let me try to explain this one, and if no one gets it, then I'll just go screw myself and we'll just move on. But when I first started collecting, I was kind of collecting like, all right, whatever, I'll just buy what I want and just kind of let it come in. I didn't really have a good sense of what I necessarily had at a certain point. And so this is a question to everyone. Do they think that their system right now is working? If they don't take an inventory, either like, write it down or do a spreadsheet or whatever, if they're not doing an inventory right now, is it too late to start it? Would it be something that you'd be interested in that you just don't even know where to start? Or is it just that your system right now works well enough and that's how it is?
I will be completely honest. I've never, ever thought about doing that. I mean, I know my collection is worth money, and I know roughly... I'm like a savant. I don't know anything, but I know like how much I spent for things. So if I need to sell them, I know how much I paid for them, but I don't want to see that number. I don't need to see that.
That number's so
I don't step on a
so
scale, right? You measure from the side, not the top. There's nothing but hurt feelings in that spreadsheet, Marco. I don't want to see that. I think for me, it's more how much space do I have is my biggest concern. That's a constant struggle. But what kind of, I mean, do you have your entire collection like Excel spreadsheeted? Like, I imagine Marco's fucking collection spreadsheet looks something like this, and he's just like freaking out every day.
Oh no, it's not far off from this, honestly. But at the very least, keeping track of like where I've ordered stuff, like, and this is where it saved me. I pre-ordered some Power Rangers figures that I forgot about, and going through my spreadsheet, I was like, oh shit, these are like on the way. I don't have room in the budget for these. I better go to Big Bad and figure out how to cancel them or whatever I had to do. But like knowing what the stuff that's on the way, as well as what I have and where I got it from, has like saved me, I think, at least one time. And so I think there is value, but maybe to each their own at this point.
I have a couple interesting takes on that. So I tend to only order from like 2 or 3 places. And then when I order something, I write it down like immediately. So I know where I got it, and then like what the shipping number is, like when it eventually pops up, I put it in my list, and then I'll know. And then when I get that figure, I delete it off the list. But I did call my insurance company because I wanted to insure my stuff. And they were like, okay, you got to sit down and catalog everything that you have with like barcodes and pictures and stuff. And I was like,
barcodes?
Yeah, so that I guess they can have it.
They wanted the SKUs, Marco.
Yeah. And I was just like, I got a lot of shit, and I don't want to be fucking sitting down for hours a day for like a week doing this shit. So, that was kind of like one of those eye-opening things. Like, oh fuck, I got a lot of shit. Like, so I've slowed down big time. I mean, when this show started, the fucking New This Week thing is because like I was buying shit every week, and now it's just when stuff comes in. But yeah, I'm kind of with Zach. I kind of have like a mental note of what I paid, and I don't really sell things, so when I do, it's not that difficult for me to be like, oh, okay, like I expect this much, or I could finagle this price or whatever. But yeah, that's a tough one, bro. Taking inventory is hurt feelings.
So you think for you, it's probably too late. That ship has sailed, and it ain't gonna happen.
I mean, I need to get my insurance down because if something happens, I don't want to be fucked. So that's the whole point of insurance. So it needs to get done. So I probably will eventually soon, especially now with like graded comics and stuff like that, and which they're not too valuable now, maybe a couple $100 each, but over time, eventually, hopefully they'll be worth something one day. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't keep inventory of it, absolutely anything. I just have the boxes around and that's it. I think it helps that I don't pre-order really much anymore, so I think that's another big reason of not having to take inventory. But it would be nice to have like a collection, especially when it comes to Hot Toys, like a collection worksheet or Excel sheet where you can have each piece that you own, just to be organized. But then again, you'll be swapping it out every other month because of the reissue count. But no, I haven't started one, but it's an idea. It's an idea.
I would especially think for a collection as vast as yours, and you've got statues as well, and I think there would be a lot of benefit. But I know, you've been collecting a lot longer than I have, so.
I get where you're coming from because it helps, especially if you're, like I said, if you're pre-ordering to stay organized. Well, I got this price, or if you're on a payment plan, well, this many payments left to really stay organized and not get mixed up. I can see it being very beneficial.
And for me, I'm trying to cap, how much I spend per year, which is like not way over what Gigi thinks we should spend. But I'm like, okay, if I'm in this range, I'll at least like not feel like I'm completely being reckless. And so I think that it helps me in that way as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think for the budget side of it, having an inventory or running inventory of what you have kind of in your home and in your collection and where you envision your collection going versus kind of where it is right now. I think having that inventory is going to help with that for sure. I've never really thought about it much until I, like Sean and I built our house last year, because it was the first time that I was like, okay, I really want to buy insurance to protect the whole place, as well as the assets that are within them, because at the end of the day, I mean, there are things that depreciate in value and there are things that appreciate or stay kind of neutral. A lot of our collection, especially graded comics and some of those things that stay relatively protected, can seriously appreciate in value. So it's definitely an asset. It's definitely something that you should know what you have. Because that is also something that you don't want to have to argue with the bank or insurance if a disaster were to happen. One of the other reasons that I think inventory, at least is a cool way to think about it, is for some of the organization of my collection, things like boxes, art boxes that I keep within shippers. I went hunting for a shipper box the other day, and I couldn't for the life of me, it was in there, I didn't have my phone in hand, I'm in there like digging around right under the stairs trying to find this shipper box. I couldn't for the life of me remember what the MMS code was for the figure I was looking for. So I had to pull every Hot Toys box out that I had, open the top just to make sure, because I had them wrapped and everything. It was bad. So ultimately, if I had an inventory, I had a number associated with it, I think it would be a good thing.
I know it's probably blasphemous for some people, but again, I really don't ever sell anything. It's very rare. So on my shipper boxes, whichever way they face outwards, whether it's the front or the top, I just write in pencil what figure that is. Like, Obi-Wan, Anakin.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If it was on the art box, maybe people would lose their mind. It's still the shipper at the end of the day, right? But I don't know.
Dean had a shipper defaced by UPS. You hate.
Oh my god, bro! That shit was so funny. She meant well, but I was like, bro, don't ever do that again. It was a really expensive figure too.
What did she do?
She wrote. Oh God.
I had a friend who messaged me. She's like, "You have a package coming today," and I was like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, you have a package coming." I was like, "How do you?"
Dean's
even
like, "That's
know
my
that?"
line.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, I work at FedEx." I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, like my Obi-Wan's coming today." She's like, "Yeah, I saw it on the truck and I recognized your name as I was loading it in." I was like, "Oh, cool, thanks for the heads up." And I got the packet and she wrote all over it in marker. It was a nice little message, she was being sweet.
I'd be calling.
But I was like,
FedEx.
I feel like, please don't ever do that again, because I could erase the pencil that says Obi-Wan. You know what I mean? I'm not digging in there with a pen or a marker. It was.
So you got her fired then, right?
Yeah, I got her fired immediately. No, but it was Obi-Wan Episode 3 Hot Toys, which is now an incredible. Even then, it was.
You have that one, or you've already sold it?
No, I still have it. That's one figure I'd probably never ever sell. So, Yeah, I was like, please don't ever. I was like, I appreciate you being nice, but don't do that again.
Wow. Shout out to the 73 people watching live.
Hey, Minnie.
This to me was one of the greatest stories ever. Let me just pull up some tabs here.
Oh my God, this is upsetting.
Now, this started going around different postings at movie theaters. Due to recent disturbances following the hashtag #GentleMinions trend, any group of guests in formal attire will be refused entry for showings of the Minions: The Rise of Gru. Now, let me tell you this: movie theaters have had it pretty rough with COVID, right? Not a lot of people going to the cinema these days.
Yeah, shocked they're still in business.
And the fact that movie theaters are turning away, I'm not talking like 2 or 3 people at a time. I'm talking like
insignificant number.
People are going to the theater,
like 50 people.
50, 100, 150, and they're buying snacks. They're buying, obviously, the tickets. I mean, let me tell you how many people saw this movie this weekend. This is a quote from, I think it was Rotten Tomatoes. This gives the film the record for the biggest opening over the July 4th holiday weekend, overtaking Transformers: Dark of the Moon, which made $115 million in 2011. That is huge money.
What is
this
Gentle
like
Minions? What is that?
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull it up here. So it's a so on Facebook, these memes started posting up. It's like there would be like a picture of Keanu and Trinity and Morpheus in the black suits, and it's like 3 tickets for Minions: Rise of Gru, please. And it was supposed to be like this ironic take, like, you know, you're there to see something, and they're doing it with the Barbie movie also. And so these young gentle minions rather, would dress up in suits and go have a good time. I mean, they're just kids having fun. I mean, they could be doing worse things. You know, they're just going to watch some movie in the cinema. And they're turning these people away to go see this movie. I don't understand it. Like, as a movie theater, you got to be thrilled that people are lining up to buy 100 tickets of your film, right? That's the goal.
What's the catch to this though? Because Manny is saying they're trashing the theaters. Like, what? Why don't they want them in here?
Okay, I've seen one video of people trashing the theaters, and there's probably more. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, like they have
but
popcorn
most of them,
and they're like celebrating. You know,
most of them are fairly respectful, right? But I mean, come on, to turn down the business, right?
That's a lot of money. Yeah, especially now, like you said, they're buying snacks and shit. Like that's how theaters make money. They don't make money on the tickets. That goes to the people who make the movie and the studios. I mean, they get like a small percentage, but they stay in business by selling concessions. So it's like, are you really? Not only are you, DreamWorks is probably like, just sell the fucking tickets. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's insane that they're turning people away. But I mean, I don't.
And I get it, right? If you're like a kid and there's all these adults going crazy in the movie, I'm sure it could be annoying. And you know, hopefully they have plenty of showings where they can space this out. I don't imagine every theater is getting bombarded by, you know, nothing but gentle minions. I feel like theaters should be taking advantage of this. The Gentle Minions showing, right? Where it's the older folks. To me, I don't understand how marketing departments aren't getting ahead of this, because this is a cash cow, right? It's a cash cow of money here. And we're talking like, you know, Lightyear is struggling in the box office, and meanwhile, Minions: Rise of Gru is like just absolutely raking the cash in.
Yeah, but Lightyear's a garbage tier film.
I don't really have a comment on that because I haven't seen it, but you know, I don't think Minions: The Rise of Gru is Oscar award winning either. But yeah, 125.2 million opening. To put that in perspective, Thor: Love and Thunder is projected to get a $300 million opening. So I mean, that's not chump change here.
125 is crazy.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
I feel surprised that that's your take on that, Zach. Because you're a dad, I could picture like you taking your little one to the movies, you know, showing up, and then you're in there and you're surrounded by people who are
I'd be in a suit.
Are a little intense. I mean, and that's it, right? Like maybe if you go and kind of prepared them and be like, you know, this is what's going on. Do you want to go and have some fun in the theater? Like it might be different. I did hear that they were like destroying theaters and like throwing bananas at the screen and like doing a bunch of crazy,
hilarious.
Crazy shit. So.
I mean, you're keeping people in jobs, right? I mean, come on.
I liked your idea though. I like your idea though of like why didn't they say like this is the Gentlemanians theater? Like, you know, we'll open up a screen for it if it's going to be that popular.
Yeah, line the screen up with trash cans at the bottom.
Well, just like think about like what they used to do for like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, right? Like people used to dress up in all the Rocky Horror Picture Show gear and go and sing all the music and go crazy in the stand. Like that was part of the experience of that movie back then. So, like this is kind of just a new generation of that. It's just it's all being captured on cell phones and stuff too, right? Like I bet people are still paying a little bit more attention to their TikTok account than the film itself. And it for some people who just want to go and see the movie, I can see why that would be annoying. I wouldn't want to see the movie in that myself.
At the end of the day,
I don't want to see the movie at all.
I don't really. That's the thing. I'm probably not going to go see it anyways.
If this is what the kids are doing these days and it's keeping them off the streets and they're not doing drugs and, you know, maybe they're trashing a little bit, but like there's 1,000 worse things like kids this age could be doing. To me, it's like it's just fucking kids being kids, right? You know, shit happens, right? Let them have fun. I fucking love it. And, you know, I the comments here are saying like, you know, kind of messed up situation to put workers in. They're just trying to do their job and not play babysitters for young adults. I 100% understand that, but at the same time, though, it's like the theater's also making a shitload of money off of this, right? There we go. Sam Gist says, I think a nice show topic someday would be a nice, juicy talk of the history of CW for all the newer people listening. Maybe we'll do one tomorrow. That sounds fun. Now, Rob Barnes, do they turn away little kids dressed up with their parents? I don't think so. Anyways, I just had to talk about it because
I was gonna say Manny's gonna say some negative shit right now.
Damn.
Every time Zach and I do a recap of the show, he's like, again? It's like, bro, we have new listeners all the time. I almost had 2,000. How many of them have been around since day one?
A 2K show would be cool.
Yeah.
Look at this, the Gentlemanians Mr. Beast gang, dude. That's so friggin' awesome. Like, it almost reminds me of, obviously this was less destructive, but when Pokemon Go first came out, I mean, you go to, I remember, like, it was so crazy. We were at Barnes & Noble, and kids were running through Barnes & Noble, having the time of their lives, catching Pokemon. And what did Barnes & Noble do? They were handing out water, they had all their Pokemon stuff in the front. I mean, they took full advantage, right? They took full advantage, and I feel like the theaters aren't. I mean, hand out fucking bananas, bro. Let them go crazy, bro. Everyone's been cooped up for 3 fucking years.
Yeah, charge for a banana.
These kids probably never gone to the movies before in 3 fucking years. Let them have fun, dude.
They could pay the guy who's supposed to spray down the seats between every showing and pay him a little bit more to clean up.
Yeah, put a tip jar out there. Yeah. I think a middle ground, is, like Zach said, have a specific showing for the Gentlemanians. Like, Gentlemanians showing, 9 o'clock, be there or be square.
Man, imagine if you actually just dress nice daily and get turned down.
Right? What if fucking
you're going to Sunday church attire to go see Minions?
Dude, what if Review Bro just wanted to go get a fucking KFC sandwich and he went to go see a movie? They're like, you gotta get the fuck out of here.
Two points really quick. I think it's a brilliant idea to bifurcate it, like make it a special showing. Like Ben said, like the Rocky Horror, like make it a special occasion like that. Number 2, my statement was a total joke because do you remember those advertisements like, oh, we're going to spray down the seats? That's never happened outside of them filming that fucking video. Never actually was a thing.
Ain't no way. Our movie of the week was The Gentleman. Let me pull
The Gentlemanians.
Dude, missed opportunity. Oh no, missed opportunity. Mickey Pearson is an American expatriate who becomes rich by building a highly profitable marijuana empire in London. When word gets out that he's looking to cash out of the business, it soon triggers an array of plots and schemes, including bribery and blackmail from shady characters who want to steal his domain. Domain. I like this movie a lot. This was a movie that Cody had been trying to get us to do movie of the week for a while, and I've never seen it before today, and I do think it's one of those films that, there's a lot going on. The dialogue's pretty crazy. I feel like I need to watch it 2 or 3 times to really get the full experience of it. Charlie Hunnam, I didn't realize he was in Pacific Rim, but apparently he was. I enjoyed him in this movie.
He's the brother, I think.
Yes, I did not know that until today.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, I know this guy. I think he's in Vikings or what is it, Sons of Anarchy. And I was like, what else has he been in? Because I feel like he's too big of an actor for me not to have seen him before. At any rate, Matthew McConaughey, great in this film. Some of the dialogue is really fantastic. Definitely a funny movie. Probably one of the funnier movies I've seen in a while. And I think I definitely need a second viewing. But overall, it was a pretty solid movie. About an 8.5 out of 10 for me. And I'm glad that Dean picked it as movie of the week, and by proxy of Cody, Daddy DM. What do you think about it, Dean?
Yeah, bro. I honestly was not super excited to watch this because I didn't know anything about it when Cody asked me to pick it. And then when I saw the lineup of actors, I was like, oh, well, that's a fucking solid cast of people. These people don't usually make like terrible movies, so it's got to be at least watchable. And I would say within the first 15 minutes, I was already hooked. Like, what is happening in this movie? Fucking what's his name? The one with the glasses here. I forget the actor's name. But usually he's so insufferable in movies and kind of like a pensive kind of pushover guy. But he was actually really charismatic. I was like, oh, okay, he's killing it in this role. And yeah, the movie just kind of takes these huge leaps and bounds and then kind of twists and turns back on itself, and it's kind of like, well, who's doing what here, and who's backstabbing who, and then when it all kind of comes full circle, it's like, oh shit, because the movie starts with this really bad cliffhanger. And I was expecting that to be kind of where the movie ended, but that was kind of right before the climax of the movie. Or maybe it was the climax. And then the rest of the movie followed it. So I was like, oh shit, I really don't know what to expect. I loved it. I messaged y'all as soon as the credits started rolling. I was like, guys, this movie is fucking awesome. If you haven't watched it yet, you're not going to be disappointed. I thought it was great. Colin Farrell killed it. Matthew McConaughey was super fucking badass. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about it. If you haven't watched it yet, which I didn't even know this movie existed. I thought it was I don't know, maybe 2015, 2016, but it's actually relatively new. I think maybe 2020, 2021. Never heard of it before. I loved it.
And Ben, I want to give you as much time as you want to, expand on this movie because Dean, I'm so sorry. I did not get a chance to watch this. The holiday weekend, Tuesday snuck up on me. This is all I have to contribute. Runtime is an hour and 53 minutes. IMDb rating, 7.8%. And 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I do plan on watching it, but have nothing to contribute this time. Love y'all.
Crazy. So I had very mixed reviews on this, Dean, because I saw your text message at 11 o'clock at night, and I was like, oh, okay, sweet. If Dean liked it, I'll probably guaranteed like it, right? And then I started watching it, and for the first 30 minutes, I was actually kind of bored. I'm not gonna lie. I found it had a very slow start. There was a lot of dialogue in it. I was also a little bit tired. I recommend if you're gonna watch this movie, watch it a little bit more awake than I probably was at quarter to midnight. But I love Guy Ritchie as a director. I think he ended up crushing this film. By the end of the movie, I could see why you liked it so much. So 100%. It had a bit of a slow burn to me. I think for some people, they might have just turned it off or got bored and walked away, and then they would actually miss a hidden gem of a film. Hugh Grant, this was the roughest around the gills I think I've ever seen that guy.
Yeah, exactly. That was okay.
Unrecognizable. It was crazy. So that
even
was
his
cool,
voice,
dude. I was like, that's Hugh Grant. I saw that he was in the movie, like in the credits and like who's in it basically, and the IMDb page. Did not expect that to be his character. So he was definitely a standout. I also did really like Colin Farrell. That one scene in the beginning there, where he like kind of, you know, he takes on all like those guys with the knives and stuff, and he's like knocking them out of his hand, like their hands and stuff. Like some of the fight choreography in there was kind of cool, and like just Colin Farrell's just a badass. Let's be honest, right? I also liked their accents. I thought their accents were all really interesting to listen to. So because there's a lot of dialogue, you get kind of the first couple words and some of the things they say sound a little broken English, and then it it starts to come together for sure.
It reminded me a lot of Snatch. Have you ever seen Snatch?
Yes, yeah. Where I had to watch Snatch a few times to actually hear what they were saying. 100%. 100%. More so in Snatch, though. More so in Snatch.
Oh,
like this this one's not quite to that level of dialect, but like it's for sure in that realm. 100%. So as I said, don't be like me. Don't watch it too late. Definitely give it a chance past the 30-minute mark, because I don't think you'd be disappointed by the end of it. And again, like you guys said, banger cast. I mean, I'm not usually a huge Matthew McConaughey fan. I'm so used to seeing him take his shirt off in movies and just be like that guy. But then when you get like, you know, shows like, was it Dallas Buyers Club, I think was one of his crazy good movies. That one was with with the guy, what's his name? Guy who played Morbius recently.
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto was dressed as a woman that movie, or in drag that whole movie. That was a crazy one.
Movie,
Dallas Buyers Club, if you've never seen it. And the cop show, again, it's on the tip of my tongue. True Detective, thank you. Again, another amazing standout Matthew McConaughey performance. So those two performances, aside from all the other heartthrob movies that he's been in, this would be kind of my third top favorite movie for him.
It's very different for Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, I liked it.
Like,
and his character had like an intensity to him, eh? Like it was cool. I liked some of the mind twists that they did, where like that one scene where they make it seem like he just killed the guy, and then it's like that's what he kind of like wanted to do. I was like, whoa, right?
I was like, you just started a war.
Yeah.
And then it goes, the way the movie progresses forward is like this dude telling a story.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the end of the movie, it's like the story is the movie.
He's describing a film,
really,
like a film play, right? Like he's describing his,
it was
like this
so
film
cool.
play. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It was so cool.
So yeah, very different. I would have never watched this movie
Me either.
Otherwise.
I
was happy. I was happy I saw it.
It's funny that Ben mentioned Morbius, like how the memes have affected cinema this year, like Morbius going back into theaters for a weekend because of the morbing time memes. Oh man, that's so
and then it didn't work. Nobody showed up.
Yeah, really. And then they're like, no, we were all busy that weekend.
Yeah.
But also, I have to go back to this. Like, if this is the worst thing that happens from gentle minions, like, they should be vacuuming that shit up anyways, to be honest. Like, that's not that crazy, to be honest. I've seen much worse at a normal showing where no one.
I've seen much worse than that at the start of a movie.
Yeah, like so they haven't even swept.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck?
It's tough when you're making minimum wage and that's what you got to clean up, though. Like that's rough.
No, I mean you are right. Like theaters should definitely be hooking their employees up with some extra for that shenanigans, and you know, like you said, there's probably a middle ground.
The theater in my area, they just give the staff a leaf blower, and they stand at the end of the aisle with a leaf blower and blow all the popcorn down. It's actually hilarious.
That's because in Canada, Nova Scotia is just so wide and open, they just blow it out there.
I blow out the door, and she's good to go.
Hey, just blow it behind the Timmy Hortons. No one goes back there.
Wow,
that's actually brilliant, though.
It's a toughie.
Yeah.
It's an absolute
What happened
toughie.
to John? I want to know about the IMDb score.
He said he had to take care of some family things, and he
I
did
read it
leave
out.
us. Yeah, he did. Yeah, Marco already did. Crazy. He wants to watch Evangelion Part 3 as his movie of the week. I mean, who would have thought? Wow. Let's fucking go. Good job, John. Great choice. You'll love to hear it. Just kidding. His movie of the week is Casino. Jesus Christ. I'm so done with mafioso movies. Like, I don't.
Oh, really? Because I might pick Snatch on my next go around.
Oh, I'm not watching
Snatch. Is
that's a heist movie.
Watch.
I'm going to start pulling my do not watch card.
I feel
Dean
like we do need a running list.
Yeah,
we need a list because
I
I've lost.
I might
track
go
of
back
what
to
we've done.
westerns.
I'm like, we'll
We'll see.
Jesus Christ.
I want to watch the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Well, we have it here. So, anyways,
This is all the
I'm
good.
the good.
I'm not the ugly.
Well,
I'm the sweet.
Anyways, Dean, John's not here. Can you read the pillars here? Oh, actually,
Yeah, I
wait,
mean,
you do
John
read them. I was
never
just kidding.
reads it ever.
I'm
So.
sorry.
Even on his show, I read it.
Wow.
Yeah, we want to give a huge shout out to the 3 pillars, as John says. Huge shout out to Sean Fear, Ian CV, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, King Louie, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, the handsome, the Canadian, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Gist, the Daminator, Joao Bretta, Sweet Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Crett, Big Ol' Fern, King Zach, Caesar Mariquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bomaski, Rick DiGregorio, the handsome, the angry, the absent, the everyday collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Azucena, the illustrious Rainer, Alad Morgan, Tukathri Waugh, Derek B, Carlos Saavedra, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Jimmy James, Stephen Percha, Sean Usby, Scott Bradley, Steve and Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton. Where the fuck is he? Palmer. He wasn't in the chat today. I shouldn't have done the pews. How dare you?
We got to get a search party going for Brenton. Our July Patreon benefits. Now, earlier, Sam Gist said he wants a new This Week sticker. Sam, that was a vote. And your fellow Patreonies wanted the Icon reissue sticker, our second sticker ever. That is going to be reissued this month for Patreon. We also have the inaugural Collectors Club sticker with John there smoking the stogie. And yeah, very cool there. We'll open up August discussions soon. And I believe people started getting their June ones. I was a little late shipping those, so my apologies. But everyone should be getting theirs pretty soon. I think, Marco, actually, you got yours today. How'd you think about them?
Banger set. This is probably one of my favorite months so far. So all stickers are beautiful.
Let's fucking go. Patreon starts at $5 for the Sweet Angel tier. You get stickers sent straight to your door and access to Ox After Dark replay. The Certified Crispy tier, a $15 tier, which is figure fix assistance, a Crispy certificate pledge, and all the benefits of the previous tier. The $25 What a Guy tier. You get the Deluxe Pog set on your first pledge, doubles of all the stickers we send, and all the benefits of the previous tiers. Check us out at patreon.com/collectingweekly if you want to join in on all the fun. Our channel members, we have Mojo Z78, OG Fan, Absolute Irwin, Beme, Test Just One, Mark Pearson, DK Avenger 702, Ben Thomas, OMFG Rick, Paul Schreiber, S Beam, Andrew Gibo, Andres IB, CC3PO, Daminator, Lemur Hernandez, Sam Gist, Carlito, Thomas Clark, CT603, Benjamin Hansen, and Eddie Money Mendez.
I'm sad that Justin isn't a YouTube channel member anymore.
You hate to hear it. We need, I think, 10 more YouTube channel members to unlock our next emoji, and we'll have you, the fans, vote on what that would be.
Pick me.
Membership starts at 99 cents if you're a Patreon member, or $2.99 if you're in the Peanut Gallery. You get different loyalty badges and custom emojis for the chat. We also have this network here, this lovely list of shows. We have Collecting Weekly Live, OFAC, Small Talk, After Dark, Bricks and Brews, The Ringcast, Live Unboxing, Club, and Live and Let Dice. This week we have, I believe, Small Talk, Club, After Dark, and Live and Let Dice. After Dark being tomorrow. Small Talk Thursday, Club on Friday, Live and Let Dice on Saturday, and I believe Bricks and Brews on Sunday. So a very packed weekend there for the network. John also launched his one of the things he's doing. We always kind of bust his balls for 60 seconds of John being longer than 60 seconds. So John, glad to have you back. John, tell us about carpool collecting. What's going on with that?
Well, this is good timing. Carpool collecting. Yeah, damn, I wasn't ready for this. Everyone's been whining about me going over 60 seconds. So I came up with the idea. I'm always in the car driving. I came up with the idea, why not do carpool collecting? If they can do karaoke in a car, why can't we talk collecting in a car? So anything over 60 seconds, we're talking here on carpool collecting.
You know what my favorite part, John, about that whole video was?
The entire thing?
My second favorite part about that whole video was turn signals, left, right, left.
Come on.
Stopping.
Canadian here.
I mean, it was. If I was a driving instructor, that's a 10 out of 10 right there, my friend. San Antonio
Bro,
could never.
Honestly, I was gonna ask if I could film my own episode, but if you're paying that much attention, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, well,
I drive like how I want, you know.
I've been in your car, and you do drive how you want, and it's scary. I have a video coming out tomorrow. It's the Hammond Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex has been such a pain in the ass. I think in one day I literally got 20 emails from Target. It's back in stock. It's back in stock. It's back in stock. And it was super fucking annoying. So it'll be coming out tomorrow at lunchtime. So stay tuned for that. It's just a quick little bit of where you can get it at, how I got mine, and maybe helping people find theirs, because I think with these figures going for $150 plus on the secondary market, I think as collectors, I think we should be helping each other out and keeping an eye out for our fellow peoples of the world.
I got to watch this, I think, before anyone else. I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Wow. It's high praise. That is high praise. We also have Let's Draw starring Dean and Zach. We did our first stream a few days ago on Saturday. We have another one coming up, not this Saturday, but the following. And I think we're going to invite some people from this panel or from any panel to come and draw with us. And it was fun. It was our first stream. We were kind of learning Magma, and I was also learning how to draw because I don't know either of those two things. And after the stream, I was told that my dog drawing of Pancake was the worst thing anyone has ever seen.
I thought it was beautiful.
And Victoria was like, "Let me show you how to draw," and she drew a Pancake for Marco and Gigi, and
crushed
it.
It
was like a little bit better than what we did. But yeah.
No. Shout out to Victoria for. I know we're not at that section yet, but for hooking us up with that, because it was an awesome drawing. My family was loving it.
Wow.
Appreciate you, Sam.
I want to see a picture of Pancake next to Pancake. Sam says, "You're the man. Great idea, John." Gigi said, "John, is CW going to pay for the gas?" I have a lot of questions. Well, petrol's very expensive right now.
We'll see how many likes and how good we get.
What's petrol over there? You guys pay by the gallon or by the liter?
We pay by the liter. It went down actually. $1.86 a liter here.
It actually did go down in Texas also. So I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see what that means.
about what, 40 cents?
Yeah, not too bad.
50 cents.
I mean,
it's crazy how we can just do that overnight. I don't understand that, but
crazy how nature do that. We have TeePublic, lots of designs there. I think we need a club at some point up on TeePublic. So John, if you might be able to help me out with that.
Sure.
But yeah, these are some of the shirts you can purchase, and they're always on sale. So definitely be sure to take advantage when they do go on sale.
And Gigi and I took advantage of a sweet sale.
Yes.
Got the Blockbuster, got the Live and Let Die shirts, and they were great. Honestly, like, I know you were saying the quality was whatever, but I thought the quality was pretty good.
Yours looked really solid. It depends. Sometimes they're banger, and sometimes they're not so great. Not so great. John, can you read the socials for me, please?
Yeah, of course. We got on Facebook, Collecting Weekly Auxiliary, which is our main group. We got on Instagram, @Collecting Weekly, @Collecting Weekly _clips, and @ the _everyday _collector.
Definitely be sure to subscribe to those.
Oh, yeah.
I know if you subscribe to all three of those Instagrams and you comment on Auxiliary, that's a bonus entry right there in it of itself. And I want to remind everyone watching, we're doing our 2,000 subscriber giveaway. We're about 74 away. The drawing will be on the first Tuesday show after we hit 2,000 subscribers, and it's sponsored by Off the Rack Collectibles. To enter, subscribe to us. Also subscribe to Collectors Enabled. Join our Facebook group, which we'll link right here again. And comment #CW2K on the giveaway post, and one of you sweet, sweet angels will win this Hot Toys Grunt Shore Trooper free of charge. But yeah, we're at the time for free shout-outs. Anyone have any shout-outs they want to give tonight?
I do want to give a shout-out really quick. Shout-out to CW for almost hitting 2,000. That's super exciting. And shout-out to Ben Thomas, who's been tearing it up with his toy hunt videos. Really cool, thinking outside of the box and doing content that is normally not seen in our circles, and I think folks are really attracted to it. So good job, Ben.
Thank you. That's awesome, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been fun.
Shout out to the people of the world watching tonight. We really appreciate it. Shout out to John. picked a real surprising Evangelion Part 3 as his movie of the week. I never would have thought in a million years.
Yeah, I love it.
So big shout out. No, I'm
Yeah,
just kidding.
okay.
John picked Casino. We all know him.
Okay. Funny.
Equan said we should
Funny
just rename it to Gangster Movie of the Week.
I also want to shout out John. As we're coming up to 2,000 subs, he's done a lot of work on this channel, and we love him. And he's a sweet angel.
Appreciate
Gift
that.
from the
dude.
heavens, from the northern border.
Right?
Appreciate that big time.
I'll shout out the chat, just because there's always good seeing the same people and new people all the time. I think it's cool that you get to see people in the comments say like they missed it live, like last time. They're excited to be here live this time. Like it pumps me up as a host on the show or guest host on the show, seeing everybody in the chats having a good time. I was having a pretty rough day today. I was feeling pretty tired, so thanks for energizing.
Huge shout out to Marco and Ben for playing Elden Ring with me. It's like my favorite game. I've already beat it, and like helping them get through it is like me playing it again, but like through a whole new set of eyes. So I really enjoy that. And
I think we got like 7 hours in there the other night. So.
Bro, we played all night the other day.
It was good.
Oh, you guys stayed on for that much longer after I
Bro.
Wow.
It was almost an all-nighter.
We gotta take Margaret to the tower, bro.
There's a lot
I
of
hope that's a
places we gotta
euphemism
take you.
because I would love to go to the tower with you boys.
Wow. That was an exhilarating shout out. John, if you would have me, I may have an unboxing on Monday if things go well.
Of course.
The 1/10 scale Hot Wheels Batmobile from.
Did you say 1/10?
Yeah, it's a big fucking thing.
It's a nice. I've seen the photos of
Yeah.
it. It's supposed to be nice. Of course,
it's supposed to come on Monday, so I'm hoping it gets here in time.
Oh,
but
fingers crossed. Yeah.
yeah, I would like to unbox that if it arrives in time. But
100%.
yeah, I agree, John. Or Dean rather. John has been a great asset to the channel. Been busting ass. Been killing it with 60 seconds.
Marco
and now
and Ben,
carpool
too.
collecting. Marco and Ben, sweet angels, stepped up to the plate. Obviously, we're kind of off a bit, and then when you guys joined us, I think we're hitting our stride again. We're all kind of learning the nuances. So I apologize if every once in a while we talk over each other, but it's a learning process. We're all kind of getting to know how this is going to be, but. It's been a great journey to 2,000. It took us like 3 years to get to 1,000, and then just a little bit over a year to get to double that up to 2. So, it's much appreciated. And Marco specifically helping us with the connection there to Off the Rack Collectibles to get that sponsorship going.
Huge shout out to them.
Full disclosure, I don't normally name retailers on my channel, but that's where I get most of my figures these days. So John's a good dude.
Also, shout out Manny. I hurt his feelings earlier, but I love him.
He might not be listening, but I do love Manny too. He's a sweet, sweet boy. Anyways, be sure to tune in tonight, tomorrow, 10:30 for After Dark, 12 p.m. for the Figure It Out, and then 10:30 for After Dark. Thursday, I think it's at 9 for Small Talk. Friday, 10 for Club. Saturday 8 for D&D, and then Sunday midday for the Lego show. I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Marco.
And I'm Ben.
We'll catch you on the next episode.
Bye.